waking up every morning. Thank you for every breath I am taking. Thank you for having all the wealth and health that I deserve. Thank you for getting all the things which I want. Thank you for every experience and lesson the universe is giving me. Thank you for all the signs I'm getting to become a better person. Thank you for having the potential to face the hardships in my life. Thank you for feeling blessed all the time. Thank you for having the capability to show the best of me. Thank you for having the perfect environment around me. Thank you for the positive change I am getting. Thank you for all the love that is entering my life. Thank you for getting guidance from my higher self. Thank you for the divine rewards. Thank you for every connection I am making in life. Thank you for having the ability that makes me different from the world. Thank you for the beauty I have and I radiate. Thank you for all the skills and talents I have. Thank you for all the abilities I am using. Thank you for all the success I am getting. Thank you for every drop that falls on me as a blessing for me. Thank you for all the blessings. Thank you for the wonderful and brilliant life. Thank you for every person in my life that is playing a positive role in my life. Thank you for all the signs I am receiving. Thank you for all the things that I am receiving. Thank you for having the capability to show the best of me. Thank you for having the perfect environment around me. Thank you for the positive change I am getting. Thank you